Jellicent. Now, Jellicent looks like a tanky Pokemon because it is a tanky Pokemon. Just has a lot of bulkiness to its design, and it really comes through. So when we look at Jellicent, it's going to have a really high amount of special defense and a good amount of hit points. So this means we could have it as a dedicated special defense tank on our team, or we could also just use it as a really balanced tank. That the 100 hit points with the 70 defense means we're not going to take too much physical damage either, so we can really play around it like that. As for the rest of the stats, 60 on the attack, we're not going to be doing anything physical. 60 on the speed, we might find some outspeeds against tankier Pokemon in really interesting situations, and 85 on the special attack. We're just mostly looking to be a tank, because there's not too much on the offensive spectrum, but overall, very high amount of special defense and good defenses with the hit points overall. Look at its typing, it's a Water Ghost type. Now, it feels like it would be more frail than it is, but you do still have 4 weaknesses, but a good amount of resistances. So we're going to be weak against Ghost, Grass, Electric, and Dark. So effectively the Water weaknesses and the Ghost weaknesses are just kind of stacking on each other. We get the normal and fighting immunities, and then Poison, Bug, Steel, Fire, Water, and Ice resistances. So not too many neutral hits. It's either going to be a pretty good chance of supering or just resisting, and that's going to be pretty solid. Hopping into Pokemon Showdown, we're going to see that Jellicent also has another form that, depending on its gender, it's pink or blue. So the female is going to be pink and have a bit more of a queenly look, and then we also have Mr. Pringles for the male Jellicent. However, they all run the same, and that is going to be just as a really stally, annoying, recovering just Pokemon of filth. And it also does have a bit more offense than you would expect from a Pokemon like this. So we are going to go for Will-O-Wisp Recover. That's going to be the main thing that Jellicent wants to do. That a Pokemon this tanky getting Recover is pretty ridiculous, because now you're going to be healing over 200 hit points whenever you use Recover. So that's a lot of work that you're just saying nope and healing back up with. You also have Will-O-Wisp, so we're also going to be able to do a little bit of that damage over time. We can counter out tanks with this, and it's also going to be pretty nice for making physical attackers not really have anything to do against you. So with that, I was thinking that we can go kind of balanced, bit on the defensive investment initially, and then just a lot of hit point and special defense investment. So Calm Nature, we're going to lower our attack, since we're going to be a special attacker, max out the hit points, and then I was thinking whatever split you want to. So you could also maybe go a little more into defense if you want to do that. That way you can survive that really solid physical hit, then just Will-O-Wisp them, and now you don't have to worry about that at all. However, you don't have any special boosting on this set, so you might want to have a bit more care when going for that special defense, because that's what you're going to be stuck with. So you might even see more special defense investment even like that, because you can just Will-O-Wisp and then Recover, and you're pretty much going to be good to go. As for the other moves, Scald, it can also burn for you, just a good amount of coverage with your stab, and then Hex. Hex is going to be really nice because we're going to be getting status on the opponent pretty effectively with Will-O-Wisp or Scald, so then power doubles if the target has status, so it's going to be up to 130 power, then getting stabbed. Doesn't matter how low our special attack is, that's still going to do a nice chunk of damage, and the ability is pretty nice too. Cursed Body, if this Pokemon is hit by an attack, 30% chance that that move gets disabled. So say they hit us with a super effective, their most powerful option against us. We survive, that gets disabled, now we get free options against them. We can use that Will-O-Wisp if it was physical, if it was special, we can recover and then switch out knowing that they're going to go for that move again, and then still going to be disabled. So we can really play around that really well in more ways than just staying in and being a tank. Has a lot of team dynamics if you do get that Cursed Body proc, and then Leftovers, going to be the pretty standard one right here, healing up 116 of your hit points at the end of every turn. When you have 404 hit points, that's going to get pretty substantial, so that's still a good amount of hit points, and then just combos with everything really nicely. What makes Jellicent so strong is just how bulky it is. You have to use it to understand that this Pokemon's really tanky, and unless they're hitting you with super effective hit after super effective hit, you really just can't do anything, and that sits in your face and wears you down through status and a little bit of chip damage from Scald, or surprising amounts of damage from the Hex. Look at some other ways you can run it. It does get access to Confuse Ray. Now on this set, you can even take out the Scald and put in Confuse Ray, or you can go for a much more just bulky, tanky set. And with this, you're not going to have the Will-O-Wisp, but you are going to have Scald, so still a decent chance to burn. And then I was thinking max special defense, Calm Nature, 252 special defense, 252 on the hit points. So if you need reliable defensive tankiness, then that's what the Acid Armor is going to be for. You use it, now you're taking half damage, then you can Scald them. If they get burned, it's going to be pretty bad, and then you can just recover on up. Now with the huge amount of special defense tankiness that you're going to have, just throughout the Confuse Ray, hope for that Scald burn, and eventually they're just going to go down from the burn, hitting themselves in confusion, and they're not going to be able to do enough damage to knock you out, so you just recover everything back. And against physical threats, pretty much the same thing, except Acid Armor. That even against special attackers, you might want to sneak in one Acid Armor or two. That way when the special attacker goes down, the physical attacker won't have anything to do against you, so you won't have to worry about that setup. and then you just kind of super duper wall them out until either they lose all their Pokemon or you run out of recover. This Pokemon's tanky enough to where you might burn through all of your recovers, but hopefully you've taken out 2-3 Pokemon, maybe statused a good amount of the team, and we still get that Curse Body to rely on just a bit. So Curse Body enough, if you're just on the field long enough, it might actually start swinging the battle, and again, you can use that for the team play. They disable something crucial to one of your other Pokemon, you bring in that Pokemon, and Jellicent is going to be able to support it while not even being on the field because of that Curse Body. Then we also have Doubles Jellicent. So Doubles Jellicent, going to be Trick Room. So Jellicent, another Trick Room Pokemon right here, and since it doesn't have a lot of ways of protecting from taunt, it is a Ghost-type Pokemon. Ghost-type Trick Room Pokemon are super awesome because you don't have to worry about the Fake Out. So all we have to do is slap on a Mental Herb, and we're going to be able to get this Trick Room off pretty much all the time. That whenever we want it, we're going to have it. So Trick Room with this hit point, special defense investment, I was thinking that we want to be more of a balanced tank since we can see a lot of physical and special threats in doubles. So with this, I was thinking Sassy Nature, that way it plays into the Trick Room, and then we just go 200 EVs on the hit points. So the reason why I have 200 here is it's going to be really easy for the EV training, that's going to simplify it, which is why you'll see that on some of my other sets I'll have like 100 and something else, because for 100 on special defense, all you have to do is give it max Zinc. I think that's going to give it for the special defense. So you just go 10 Zincs, and then you knock out 4 Hordes as long as you have the power item and Pokerus, and then you just max out the defense, and that's going to be very, very simplistic EV training for the Jellicent, but it's also going to be pretty much as effective as any other set. So that's going to work out in your favor pretty well. So back to the Trick Room. Yeah, you set up Trick Room, and then you go for Rain Dance. Rain Dance is going to be awesome for if you have a really slow, bulk, water, just obliteration Pokemon, and you can carry Surf on it. So you give that Pokemon Surf, and now you're healing a quarter of your hit points whenever you get hit by your own Surf. And you can also throw out a really powerful Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump going to get stab, rain boosted, crazy damage, and it's just going to be really awesome to use in that rain with all that damage behind it. Or you can even carry the Scald. If you use Scald, might find that burn, but we are carrying Will-O-Wisp on this set, so that works. You can go Hydro Pump, Will-O-Wisp, or Scald Recover. More sustain, less damage, less reliable utility, but you know, it is depending on how you're playing. Now, if you have a really offensive Pokemon that's just going to obliterate anyways, you might as well just kick back and be like, alright, a little bit of Scald damage right here. Oh, look at that, you got burned and now you can't knock me out. I'm getting 75% of my hit points back every turn under the Trick Room. That's pretty brutal, but if you are going for those offenses, that works. And if you are running the Hydro Pump, you might even want to consider just going hit point investment, go for that Modest Nature, and just max out your special attack. Now with this, I would recommend that you have a Fake Out Pokemon, so that way Fake Out on one side, so that means only one Pokemon can hit you. Most likely they're not going to be able to knock you out because you're going to be faking out the Pokemon that threatens Jellicent the most, and then you set the Trick Room, and then you just convert into ridiculous amounts of damage, and that's kind of it. On that, Jellicent gets Taunt. You can carry Taunt in singles for anti-setup, so Jellicent can kind of make Taunt work on any of these sets. Instead of Confuse Ray or whatever, you just go for Taunt. Now you are going to be losing the coverage, and you are going to be losing the chance to hit themselves, but if you're not playing that long, stalled Jellicent, you kind of want to speed up the battle a bit. You can Taunt, you can force things around, you can like Taunt and then predict their switch with a switch of your own, and that is going to be how you play the Jellicent. Oh, and also for this Jellicent, you can even run something like Hail, that instead of like Trick Room Rain Dance, you just go Hail and then Blizzard. So if you want a Hail team, actually Jellicent is one of the more effective Pokemon to do so, because you're going to be able to get the Trick Room, you're going to be able to get the Rain, and then a Pokemon like Abomasnow, you don't have to have Mega in this situation, so you can go like Choice Specs maybe? Still going to be pretty threatened, so maybe like Life Orb with Protect would work. Double Blizzard is going to be a lot of damage, but Blizzard is going to have that No Miss and Hail, so a bit more reliable on the damage, and even if you don't want to run Blizzard, you can still run Ice Beam, and if you're not doing any kind of like crazy weather stuff, just go Ice Beam, Scald, and then like Will-O-Wisp or something. So you have a lot of really crazy options that make it really hard to predict you as a Jellicent, and that's going to be how you use it. So if you guys enjoyed the video, that's how you use Jellicent. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you for watching.
Do you need groceries? Yes. Does your family agree on which groceries? No. We all like different things, and that's okay. You just need a platform that makes ordering easy. Thankfully, there's DoorDash, with your go-to grocery stores delivered on your time. All kinds of stores and items, all on DoorDash.
Welcome back.